Hello, everyone, and very good afternoon from where I am. Welcome to the 10th Chat Time with SEACHA monthly program today. This will be the last one in this series of talks started last October. It's been a year already, and I myself contributed in the fourth Chat Time. My name is Mulberry. I'm the director of the Yangon Heritage Trust of Myanmar. It's my pleasure to introduce the Chat Time with SEACHA as the board of director of SEACHA. SEACHA, the Southeast Asia Cultural Heritage Alliance, was formed in 2019 as a network of Southeast Asian civil society organizations engaged in cultural heritage conservation work. We have so far members of cultural and heritage organizations from 8 ASEAN nations as to form the alliance. We gather here with the different backgrounds, different expertise, and different capabilities from the organizations, each having their own missions, but we all share the same goals, that our joint commitment of government, the people, and the business sector to cultural heritage protection policies and actions to safeguard Southeast Asian cultural heritage intact for the future generations. Since the Alliance have started 2 years ago, we have worked together to increase awareness and to influence the policies, as well as to help build up capacities regarding cultural heritage conservation. Chat Time with SEACHA is a monthly talk program virtually held on Saturday afternoons. Building climate resiliency through local community wisdom has been the theme of Chat Time talk series that addresses cultural wisdom and how it can be used to mitigate climate change. Each presentation draws on the knowledge and experience of those engaged in cultural heritage issues in Southeast Asia. Topics ranges from traditional handicrafts to local architecture to town planning. For those interested, all the talks done before are available in SEACHA YouTube channel too. Now, let me introduce you to our moderator, Tara Gujeta. Tara Gujeta is co-founder and co-director of the Traditional Arts and Ethnology Center, which is a cultural heritage social enterprise dedicated to celebrating the cultural diversity of Laos. Tara has a BA in anthropology and an MSc in tourism, environment, and development, and over 20 years of experience in sustainable tourism, handicraft development, and cultural heritage management throughout Southeast Asia and Southern Africa. She has been based in Luang Prabang, Laos for the past 70 years. I will hand it over to you, Tara. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Momo. I'm glad you could join us. And I'm glad everybody here was able to join us. Good afternoon from Luang Prabang. I want to thank the Southeast Asian Cultural Heritage Alliance for inviting me to moderate this session. I also want to commend SEACHA for creating this Chat Time series to highlight the intersection of climate change and cultural heritage. I think all of us are aware of how important climate change is. It's constantly studied and spoken about and written about, but it's not always obvious how climate change can affect cultural heritage or how traditional beliefs, traditional practices, cultural practices can play a role in mitigating the effects of climate change or contribute to climate resilience. And we'll be hearing a lot more about that in today's talk. So to now introduce our discussion, we'll be hearing from Noynith Chanthamith, who's the general manager of Mulberries. And Mulberries, I've known of since I first moved to Laos almost 18 years ago, as well as its dynamic founder, Madame Komali. Mulberries was founded in 1993 as a social enterprise by Madame Comely to create income generating opportunities based on silk production and weaving. And has always very much placed a focus on communities and the environment. I believe they were one of the first, if not the first, Lao crafts company to be certified by the World Fair Trade Organization. Their products are also certified organic. So they've really been a leader in this space with environmental sustainability and community benefits as well. I had the pleasure of being able to now know Noynith Chanthamith, our speaker. We hadn't met before. We had been put in touch through this event. And he has a fascinating story and background. He called his background messy, but I called it diverse and varied. It's very interesting. So he was originally born and raised in Hua Phan province in the northeast of Laos in Samnia. He's actually the grand nephew of Madame Comely, the founder. And he learned to weave as a teenager, which is unusual for a Lao man and must be commended, I think. He moved to Vientiane province as a teenager and has since then worked as a nurse. He worked in a hotel, he worked in a golf course and a semiconductor factory. So I think not many of us can match that kind of diversity in our backgrounds and experiences. He began working for Mulberries in 2014 part-time while he was studying English and economics at university, and then was awarded a scholarship to study at the China Agricultural University in Beijing. Upon finishing his master's just before COVID, he returned to Laos and became the general manager of Mulberries, as well as the director of the Candlelight Vocational school, which is linked to Mulberries as well. So before I give the floor to Noynith, just a quick word. Any questions that you have, please drop them in the Q&A box. After Noynith finishes his talk, which will be about 40 minutes or so, the remaining time we will select some key questions and answer them there. Okay, thank you. Noynith, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tara, and thank you for this event, because we have talked each other in email, but we have never met each other, and we have opportunity to see each other on through this program. Today I gotta talk about this topic. So wait a moment, I will share. Okay. Thanks, Tara have introduced a lot of my topic already. And in 10 and 20 years before, I never think that the climate change will be affect to our life in this moment. Today, I will talk specific on the climate change effect to the sericulture and silkcraft. I think some people may not understand how to do silk production. I will explain a bit about the silk production process. Here, for example, it's starting from planting mulberry tree right here, and then we pick mulberry leaf to feed a silkworm, and then silkworm will make cocoon, and we use cocoon to reel to be a silk yarn. And then we just take silk yarn to dyeing and weaving to be fabric like this. Yeah, this is a little bit brief about the silk production. So I will jump to the next slide. This is my presentation. It will consist of speaker introduction, country introduction, and history of Laos, women and sericulture and weaving, and then a little bit about Mulberry, because we need to before go to the problem, we need you to understand the step and where we work and who involved, and then go to government policy on environmental and cultural issue and how it relate to our in Mulberry. And then I will go detail about the problem. The first problem is the affecting to mulberry tree cultivation and the solution that we try to go and try to show. And next will be the affecting to the silkworm raising and solution also. And then we go about the cocoon quality and climate change. And the last one will be to talk about the affecting to natural dye. Like before that, how we do, and next how we do, and the last will be Q&A. So thanks, Tara. You have introduced a lot of me, so I will jump for this slide. So I will go to talk about the country. Some people may not know where is Laos, because in my experience, I went to Malaysia. Some people ask me where is Laos, so I'm surprised. And I went to China also. Some people, where's Laos? So I feel, oh, it's small country. And so I said, you know, where is Thailand and Vietnam? They know. So I said, we are in between of Thailand and Vietnam, and we close to south part of China and Cambodia. People start to think to say, oh, I see. And I said, we are a small country. We only have 7 million plus people only. And according to the statistic in 2021, the area is also small, only 236,800 square kilometers. So now I will talk about a little bit about the Lao women clothes. Since the ancient time, Lao women they will wear like this. They will wear sin. This is called sin, or a long skirt that people foreigner come to Laos. This is long skirt. The skirt will consist of this one bottom, we call foot and body and head like this. And people, Lao women, they will keep all the hair and the hair into buns, like hairstyle like this. Keep all up here to be neat. And they also wear pabian, we call pabian. This one. It's developed from previous time to now. An interesting story. I will talk to you a little bit about the culture right here. You see how different of people how they keep their hair. This one I take when I went there in the border of Laos and Vietnam. I went to dispute. I'm here. I went to dispute silkworm egg to them. I asked them why your hairstyle is different. They said, if your hair like this style, that means they are already married and never get divorced, divorced. This one, that means single girl. If you see hairstyle like this, don't do something and to affect them. Yeah, interesting story. And I only see in three villages still keep this culture until now. Other villages I can't see anymore. And next, I will talk about the history of weaving. Why are women weaving in the past? Because weaving is a hard work. Women who can weave, that means they have patience enough. And it's easy for girls to get married and to find family. When I was a child, I still involved in this practice. In nighttime, girls they will be at their home and boy will go sit beside them, talk each other. Yeah, that's experience. And the second is women textile is become women story. When they get married, they will have to prepare some clothes to keep their husband family. And Also, in the past, all people they would say that women who cannot wait, that means it's respect by the other people, and lazy or some no patient enough. And also, how about the sericulture? Sericulture means all people they will say who don't know silkworm sleep, silkworm awake, and silkworm make cocoon. That means those people don't know about the hill and sky and living in good way. Yeah, that's its culture. And also because of that thinking, people they would start teaching their daughter in early age, like 10 years or teenager, they start to learn already. Now we will talk a little bit briefly about Mulberry. Mulberry, Tara already talked about it. We already, full name is Lao Sericulture and Agroecology Promotion, or the brand name is Mulberry. And actually, Madame Gomari established Phuontong handicrafts in 1976 after Laos get independent. 95, yeah. And one day, the president of Laos come to visit Phuontong handicraft cooperative. They asked Madame Gomari to go back to northern of Laos to create more income and sustain more job and also culture for northern of Laos. The type of our organization is a social enterprise. Before that, we want to set up cooperative, but during that time, government is or close cooperative unit, not able to create or not able to establish the cooperative, so we have to establish in 1993 in company, but we run like cooperative, so we are a social enterprise. The founder is Madame Noynith Chanthamith. She is the awardee of Nobel nominee in 2005, and also Raymond Magsaysay in 2015. Yeah, sorry. If you need to know more about her, you can go to Raymond Magsaysay and also Nobel nominee award to see about her. This is our logo of Mulberry. And where Mulberry are, actually this is Lao map. Here is our office and also producer and showroom in Vientiane capital. And we have a big farm in Silkworm province, which is highland area, and also we have producer in Vocational province in mountainous area. And also we have another farm in Saisomboon province, and also we have producer in Vientiane province. And this year we start to expand to Luang Prabang, but because of COVID, it's hard for us to follow up in Luang Prabang. This is our website. If you need more information, you can go there. And also visit our Facebook, Mulberry, or Sericulture on Rural Development. This is our website. You can get more information. So our mission is to commit to grow and of the silkculture product to produce a high quality silk trade and textile in Laos, especially in mountainous area, in rural area, and try to increase or create income generating for them and in those areas. And also we try to respect environmental for our future. You can see that here is our work. We go to mountainous area in rural development to train them and how to improve their work and try to avoid problem. Why we set up the Mulberry? I already mentioned in the past in previous slide. So this is Mr. Kaisan Bonipan. He is the first prime minister in Laos after got independent. He came to visit our organization, and he feel that in northern of Laos they cut down the tree and burn the tree to do farm like this. It's very, very hard to stop them. Even me, I used to do this right field 1 year. My father and do it. I have to help her. I was teenager, yeah. And also during that time, Lao people they like to grow opium. So after government they have a new policy try to stop and minimize it. So they try another project to go to stop opium growing, but they fail. But we have a small project to try to do sample village to replace, but it's done. That means we can replace. They stop. So we start to expand to another village in mountainous area. So because of him, advise us to go. Yeah. Next, I will talk about the farm. The farm that we have in Silkworm province in mountainous in highland that I already mentioned. This is in 1994. It's like this. After that, this is 2021. We can see how different of this area. This house and this house still here. This road and this road still here. But the difference is here. Forestry tree, a lot of tree here and very high tree here. We can do it. Like another area nearby us, still less of tree. This is the center that we try to be example for villagers come from many area, from rural area, to learn how to protect ourselves from natural and respect our planet. And this is our farm here. This farm is this area. Now we can have more. And also this farm we open to visitor to visit for free, because nowadays people they don't know how it's the clothes like us it come from, where it still come from. We open for them to see how traditional silk raising and silk reeling and weaving here. If you come to visit Laos or Singapore, you can visit there for, yeah, it become a center for new generation, because it's almost going to disappear and it's rarely to see. Now we go to the problem that affecting by the environmental. Here you can see here the river that we use water from river to watering our mulberry farm. This is example in highland area in our farm in Silkworm. I will show you a little bit here. In the previous time, we tried to use water, a lot of water to watering our mulberry tree here. You can see sprinkler here, still here. But now water is really not enough. So we have to change, find another way to do. So now we try to grow some bean like here. And also we just keep some glass like this. Some good glass we don't need to cut and clear it away, because it's good and family We just keep it here because we need bean or glass to cover the soil, and it can increase into nitrogen into the soil. Mulberry tree is in highland area. We have to plant 3 times per year to help it's growing, because if we cut it, it can drink not much water and grow very fast. So in highland area, we have to cut or plant it 3 times per year. That is our solution how to solve the less water to watering mulberry tree. So next, I will talk about the lowland area. Lowland area also problem because of flooding. So this area is in Hua Phan province. For example, this lowland area, they have farm along the riverside, and the flooding is every year more and more flooding to the mulberry farm. For example, this year they're not able to receive July and August because of too much water and flooding. So the solution, it's not hard, it's not difficult, but it's not how much for them. You can see here the solution, it's just keep it go higher. You can see here it's the flooding will be this level. We went to visit there at the farm, and the flooding will be this area. You see this garbage come from water, and water here come with water. But lucky, this area flooding will not take a long time. It will take maximum around 7 days and gone. Otherwise, mulberry farm will die. So, and cut the tree. I said right, and in highland area we cut 3 times per year, but here in lowland area we cut only once a year in the beginning of dry season, like October. Yeah, this month is time for them to cut, and after beginning of the rainy season, it's already high. It's safe for that, and it's not easy for them because some villagers, they don't have much land to grow mulberry. They have only the riverside one, but some villagers, they have 2 different land. They can grow another area with higher than riverside that can save, and they can take that mulberry leaf during rainy season and flooding time. And in this season, in July and August, some family, they not able to receive them. That means they have to waste their time and waste their income generation. It's the solution, just adapting themselves through the water. Cannot do it, cannot do much thing to solve it. So, and also the affecting to the farm. Also, this is sapling growing. We prepare sapling in our farm. I explain a bit. In our farm, we will prepare this sapling, and we will distribute to people like villager what they need, how many they need. Before that, we do it in our farm in Sericulture province in highland area. It's also good to do that, but because of water, we don't have much water to watering our sapling, and also because of the weather it's colder than in lower area, so it takes longer time to get this. So, and also label it less and less. We don't have enough water label. Also, the weather is not suitable. The solution, we just try to find a new place to have another farm. Like here, you can see how different here. Altitude is more than 1,000 meters from the sea, but here it's only 200 something, and we don't have to use a lot of label to watering here. We just let water flow to the drain like this. It will be good. And in this area, it's fast grower. It's fast growing for mulberry tree. And it's not easy to find this place, and also it's not easy to manage. We have to go and back between two provinces, between silkworm and Saisombo. Especially in COVID time now, we're not able to in this area, because if we go there, we have to get back and quarantine for 15 days to hard for us. But it's also good because the weather is different. When cold season, we can raising silkworm here. When hot season, we can raising silkworm here. Yeah, it's good. Another thing good. And now we talk about the affecting to the silkworm raising. Because of what weather now, it's not stable. I know your area also the same. Today very hot, tomorrow rainy, today after tomorrow no sun, like that. Sometimes seem like 3 seasons in a day. But the problem is silkworm, they need stable temperature and also humidity. You can see here the humidity and the temperature it's need. Silkworm, they will have totally 5 eggs, egg 1, egg 2, egg 3, and egg 4, egg 5, but they need different temperature. Estimately 23 to 27 is okay for them. And the humidity is for young silkworm egg, it's from 80 to 90%. So we have to control. How to control that? We have to build a new house with properly house, that we have to have this equipment to check the weather, and we have to adjust. For example, if too dry, we for silkworm egg we will wrap by banana bark, or we have wet fabric to put near here area to get more humidity. But if too high humidity, we have to share the lime powder into them to make them feel free like people. We use powder to put in baby, right? To save for some disease and other things. We practice the same thing. And also we try to avoid the feeding by wet silkworm, also mulberry leaf. We have to dry it before keeping to silkworm. Yeah, this is solution. We just adjust the temperature and humidity and adjust the room condition for them. Otherwise, it will get sick and weak. But baby worm, when they sick, it's not hard. It's not so much, but we will see the result when they are own or become a neck collar or almost become a cocoon. Okay, now I will talk about the silkworm in egg 4 and egg 5. It will be bigger. In previous time, in ancient time, or since 1990 and backward, people, villagers, they raising silkworm like this. Just do it under house with bamboo basket and closed by they'll cover by clothes, some clothes. But the problem now is it's not longer work for them like this anymore. So we have to train a villager to build a new house, properly house like this. There is window, air can flow, and they have to be like this and can adjust. If too hot, we have to open to air flow, or if too cold, we have to close and we burn some charcoal inside here to adjust the temperature. If too dry, we need to spray water in the room. If it and sometimes we just need water to wash the floor. It will be if too hot, we wash the floor. It will be increased humidity and also cooler for the temperature. But it's not easy because many villagers, they can't have the house properly because they need some material with, and they need some assistant, a technical assistant. But we can provide them. Just some cannot provide them all because of budgets. Yeah, just only this solution can do it, but we waste a lot of money. We have to invest. And this one, the affecting to cocoon quality. In the past, farmer, they just keep it in under the house like this. But now, because of many things like pollution and warming, global warming, and a lot of car pollution, they have to do other things. So because of cocoon, then it needs the temperature is only 23 degrees Celsius, and also humidity needs 66 to 70%. It's hard for farmer to get quality of cocoon, because if the temperature is too low, the silkworm, its work will be very slow, or sometimes they can't make it. They can make cocoon. If too hot, if you make faster and sometimes it's dry before finish the fiber in their body. And it's too high. Sericin from the mouth of silkworm, it will be like a glue. It will be very strict. So it will be hard to reel into the yarn. So the solution we do is also nothing. We just build a proper house like silkworm raising, and just control the temperature, humidity, and light in the room to get familiar with the silkworm, to easy to work and to make cocoon. And farmer, they can't do that. We have to do another things. Farmer, they can't do that. They just let it work, but it's not properly like this. This is a silkworm. It's die inside before finish, and this This one, that means two silkworm make a cocoon, make a one cocoon. It's a twin cocoon. It's not able to reel into the yarn by machine. And this one also, it's hard to reel into the yarn by machine. We just separate to two quality. Good quality, we use machine to reel it. It will be faster and smoother, will be more quality. But bad quality, we still need to do the traditional reeling like this. Yeah. Here we will talk about the color dyeing. Actually, there are so many color affecting that we can't do the same practice like previous time to dyeing. For example, red. We use stickleback here. Stickleback is from the tree, we pick it and to boil with the silk yarn to become this color red. In 2019, we just use only 5 kg of stickleback to dye 1 kg of silk yarn. But now 5 kg, it's not working anymore. We have to find another way. And stickleback, it's harder and harder to buy and to source because of our global warming. They don't want to grow anymore, and we don't know because of water or water consumption or for what. Because now we can do 5 kg in 1 kg of silk yarn. We try to test around. The solution is we try to test around 6 to 7 kg of stickleback to dye 1 kg of the yarn. But it's work. We can get the same color, exactly color, but different area, different color, different. We have to use different consumption of stickleback to dye silk yarn 1 kg. This is the sample of red color, but we have to sustain this practice because it's our heritage. We can say our heritage. For example, this is our craft. It got awards, UNESCO awards. Sometimes people really need the same exactly like this, like color and pattern, size and weight like this. So we have to do it very similar to the original one for customer, for people they want. This is an example of stickleback. And next I will talk about the black color. The black color in the past, when I was a child, I still see old people, they use at first, before black, they dye with indigo to be dark blue first. And then they just go around the river to find some suitable place to put them in under mud. And then some nights they just take out and wash it. It will be black color. But now, no, it's hard. It's hard to find a suitable place like the condition with mud and water and light. We still can find, but it's very far. Before that, when I was child, we can see they go just near village, but now no, around 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. It's not suitable for do black again, the same practice. The solution now is we just do another things. We just use the mud, water, and sankam bark, guava bark to boil them to be black, but no more indigo. This practice, we just use this bark instead. It's called sankam bark, and it's a guava leaf, and also mud, water. we have to do many process, like we have to boil one round and wash another round and wash another round. We will get black. Yeah, it takes longer time, and we need to go to source or move from very far to our center. It's kind of we take shorter time, but we use more labor and more process to do it. But in the previous time, it's easier, but it's hard. But now it's hard, not only because of moods, because of this kind of leaf also, because in the previous time they grow this kind of leaf and they take porosity, but now it's hard. So actually, we still have many problems with color dyeing, in like dark blue also now problem, and green also problem, but because of time, so I just leave it. If you have any question, just ask me directly, like my personal contact. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your listening. If you have any question and also any feedback, please feel free to get back to me. Thank you. Welcome your question and contribution.
Hey, thank you very much, Noynith, for that. It was very interesting to hear all of the adaptations, I think, that Mulberries has been involved in. I think a lot of us are aware of how much of a science sericulture really is. It requires a lot of technical expertise, and the production can be very much affected by temperature, by humidity, by water availability, quality of the mulberries, the location, etc. So it's interesting to see how this traditional mode of silk production in the past has to adapt and develop with the times. And the extremes from climate change can obviously have huge impacts on a very sensitive process like silk production. And I think it was interesting to hear how your these approaches to sort of permaculture, planting grasses and beans, you know, adapting to new locations to mitigate some of these effects. And the same with the rearing of the silkworms and raising mulberry saplings, etc. So we have a few questions here that I would like to start with. Do you find that young women are still learning to weave, or do you have to do more teaching and training?
That's a good question. I actually want to talk about this. Actually, in our area, it's harder and harder for young people to interesting in this area, but we try our hard to educate them to interesting about it. So, but still have many people interested in, because in our producer group, they have their children, they have their young people around them. They learn from them. It's become their life. So they're interesting to continue. And now we have cooperation with a college to build another curriculum to teach about the sericulture and weaving. And we give some scholarship to young people from the area that we work with. And they come to learn in our center and also in college. And we can feel that now we have more young people involved, and they can work better than their parents. Yeah, they can get more quality and good, better than their parents. Yeah.
Interesting. Another question is the demand for woven silk on the world market still strong?
Can you repeat again?
Sure. The demand for silk, for the woven silk, it says particularly, is the demand for woven silk still strong in the global marketplace?
The marketplace, the market, you mean how can we sell, right?
Yes, so I think is there still demand for silk, you know, and silk textiles? Is it still strong?
Hand woven product now it's got a little bit. It's not a little bit harder and harder because of the process. We have to take more process, harder to do it. The price have to be increased. It's effect to the price. Now the fabric or the clothes from factory is so messy now. So people like to use factory one instead, but they still need the hand woven. For example, in our country, in Laos, right? When we go to wedding or meeting, and also some official function, they try to wear hand woven fabric and clothes to show that they try to sustain our culture and help people who work on it, like people from rural area, people who work hard and try to sustain the culture. Yeah, but it's not much like before. It's lower and lower need in the market. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you unmute.
Sorry, I clicked and didn't click it hard enough. We have a couple of questions here that I think are related. One was about how, and you mentioned this just now, how this experimentation, these new approaches that you've had to come up with, make the process more expensive of producing the silk and creating the hand woven textiles. So is it much more expensive to produce the products? And also, do you receive any support from the Lao government or outside assistance agencies as you come up with these solutions for climate change?
Yes, of course, we have some technical support from government, like Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Agriculture. They also work with us to do support technical, and also they always give us a green light to do something, like go to the village. Sometimes they go with us to do some experiment to farmer, and they try to help us to source to another village. Like they need which village they need people to generate income while they're sericulture. And also women unions in Laos, they also help us because this work is related to more women. They help us to promote our work to the women. And there are some universities that we work with, like Untitled Agricultural University in China, and also some green certificate in Thailand. We work together, and also some non-government organizations like NGO. They also help us to give some funding to give to villages, like mulberry sapling, and also some lamb powder to give to some farmer. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And then related to what you're just saying about the mulberry saplings, the question is, do you have any varieties or types of mulberry trees and silkworms which adapt better to different climate conditions?
Actually, the traditional variety is better adaptation to climate change, but the output is less, you see. And the adaptation variety like cross variety and variety from overseas, it's more sensitive to climate change. But we did not adapt the variety, but we try to adapt the place. For example, in Hua-Pan province, it's good for this kind of mulberry tree variety. We bring them this kind of variety. In silkworm province, it's suitable for another variety. We give them another variety. And also silkworm variety. Silkworm variety in Thai dam in ethnic group, they good in traditional variety, but in another area they just follow us. It's easier for them to follow us because they don't have experience in their mother, grandmother, so they have with the outside teaching them. Yeah, that's variety.
Another question is, after you feed the mulberry leaves to the worms, do the farmers also harvest the mulberry berries? So the fruit for processing, is that used?
Oh, fruit. You mean
fruit?
mulberry
Yeah.
fruit?
Yeah,
Sure.
the mulberry fruit.
Yeah.
Is it processed or is it just used for local eating? What is?
They harvest to sell to us. We buy from them. Because the process is harder. They just eat and they just eat not much for eating, just for sales. They sell to us, and we use them to produce wine and jam and juice. Yeah, and also something like we used to make with lip balm or lipstick. Yeah. It's only to us. But the fruit is only 2 times in a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of questions now have just been added. First question, how much silk yarn can Mulberries produce in 1 year? I assume this means Mulberries, the company itself. So what is your capacity for silk yarn production in 1 year?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's a number. Number I have to estimate. 1 year we can produce around 7 tons of cocoon. 7 tons of cocoon can produce around a ton of silk yarn, but it's in good quality. But if it's not good quality, we need 8 tons to produce a ton of silk
1
yarn.
ton of silk yarn.
Yeah.
And then the next,
estimately 1 ton. This year will be 1 ton. But before that, it's very less. Yeah.
Yes, from what I understand, you've actually been able to increase your silk production during COVID times. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because other thing, it's harder for them. They grow something but hard. But for us, we have tried many things to help them. Yeah, it's also stable market for silk yarn.
Yes, and related to that, do you have any idea of the demand in the country for silk yarn, and how much of that can Mulberries, the company, supply? I think a lot of people are aware that that we import a lot of silk that we use in Laos from other countries like Vietnam and China. So how much of the demand overall can Mulberries provide? So that 1 ton is what you can provide. Do you have any idea of what the total is of the demand?
You mean we supply to local market or?
Yes, within the country, I would say.
Interesting question.
It's from a silk weaving company. I think this is from Velmani from Opopdop. So obviously
yeah.
I know that they are a customer of yours. So she's probably also curious about that, that too.
It's a good question. Even in Laos, we have to import a lot of silk yarn from Thailand, China, and Vietnam. We can produce very minimum amount, but the market we supply to some weaving company, like you said, Opto, Thaiba. Oh, it's not Thaiba, Hui Hong. But I can say because of organic silk, it's a little bit higher price compared to Vietnam silk. And local markets, we only can sell to the unit that they produce local product. But it's not some. Many people they use silk yarn from Vietnam or China or Thailand to wear because it's a little bit cheaper. And for local people, they wearing cheaper. But many of high-end customer in local and also foreigner, they need handmade since the beginning until finish. And also, where is your silk yarn from? It's just only this group of business they buy, and we have also export to Thailand because of the order. We have to complete their order also. So I can say not much supply to local.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a way, because of the quality of the mulberry silk being organic and well, not always hand reeled, but locally produced, it's a very much a niche market. And to some extent, the silk products that some people would like need to be of a cheaper price, and then the imports work better for them. We're coming to the end of our time allotted. Is there a shop? Does Mulberries have a shop or an outlet that's open in Vientiane at the moment?
Oh, yes. We have a showroom in Vientiane. And we have another showroom in our farm in Siem Quang. Before that, we have in Luang Prabang also, but now because of the pricing of rental is increased, so we have to keep up. And we have only 2 in Vientiane. But we have another relative in Australia. She also take it to sell there. And also we have our website, we selling online. Sure. Now people from USA or Canada or Australia or European area, they come, they buy online. Yeah.
Okay. One very last question. Does Mulberries plan to expand your production if the demand for the niche type of silk, your type of silk, expands as well? Are you looking to expand your production?
Yes, of course, because now we try to expand to another village. Now we are still preparing the budgets for next year, because during October we will prepare for some budgets, some settling to another year for next year. We have target to increase minimum around 30 family in a year to expand to family in rural area. It's near the way that we travel. It's not just go far away, just only one village near the village that they were already. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we'll wrap up now. Thank you so much, Noynith and Mulberries, for sharing this information today. It's really fascinating to hear how a local social enterprise has managed to cope with climate change in such a flexible and adaptive and smart, way. Thank you also to SEACHA, the Southeast Asian Cultural Heritage Alliance, for hosting this talk. This is the last one in this series. The new series will begin in January. The topic, the main theme, is still yet to be chosen. But please follow the YouTube page. There's a YouTube page for the Alliance where all of the past talks are posted. And we also have a Facebook page as well that you can check for updates on what the next talks will be. And that link has just been posted in the chat as well. And of course, you can contact Noynith, as he said, by his email, noynith@mulberries.org, I believe. By .org, if you have further specific questions for him. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy your afternoon. Thank you, Noynith.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.